The biggest trade that many people were expecting to get confirmed finally got confirmed on Saturday, on the day of the IPL retention deadline, when it was finally confirmed that Sanju Samson has joined Chennai Super Kings in exchange for Ravindra Jadeja and Sam Curran. The biggest player trade arguably in the history of the IPL has been completed, and many will say that this is something of a masterstroke from CSK. After all, they've gotten someone who could be a future captaincy candidate without letting him go to the auction, and traded away two players who they didn't necessarily feel would be featuring strongly in their playing 11 in the subsequent seasons. But there's also an argument to be made, and something that not a lot of people are talking about, so I've decided to take that mantle up and talk about it, that perhaps RR ended up getting the much better end of the bargain, and there are two major reasons for that. One is that RR actually got rid of a player who clearly wanted to go away and was willing to go either in a trade or via being released into the player auction. The second is that they have addressed a very significant weakness that has been hampering them since, I would argue, the 2022 season. They've gotten in two quality all-rounders who walk into the playing 11 and make it much stronger. Just as a case in point, let's take a look at the playing 11 that RR fielded in their final game of the IPL 2025. Now, obvious caveats, that was a dead rubber game. They had nothing to gain or lose from it. But the team that they were fielding was by and large in line with the kind of team that they had been fielding for a while. Why exactly did I say that? Well, just take a look at the 11. You've got Jaiswal and Suryavanshi up top. You've got a Sanju Samson, Riyan Parag and Dhruv Jurel taking care of the middle order. And the lower order starts with Shimron Hetmeyer and ends at Wanindu Hasaranga. So now, obviously, this is a bowl-first playing 11 because they had won the toss and opted to bowl in that particular match. They chased down successfully. But the fact that even with this, they only had you can be generous and say 7 batting options, but Wanindu has never really been tested as a batter in the IPL. So I'm going to go ahead and say that 6 proper batters is what they went in with. Obviously, with the impact sub coming in, that would have been 7. But is that enough when you consider that thanks to the impact player, there are teams that were batting as deep as number 9 or number 10? I'd say no. And one of the key reasons that they were actually in this sort of a position is their uber reliance on specialists. Look at it. You've got Wanindu, who's more of a bowler than he is a batter. If I'm going purely on IPL skill, I'll say Wanindu is a bowler. Then you've got Quena Mafaka, then you've got Yudhvir Singh, then you've got Tushar Deshpande, and then you've got Akash Madhwal. That's 5 bowlers. And if you look at the top 6, the only one who gives you something of a bowling option is Riyan Parag, which is, it's really not good enough. Now, if you compare and contrast this to the potential 11 that they could field in the 2026 season, and it looks so much more different and, more importantly, so much stronger. Why do I say that? Here. This is what their potential playing 11 could be for 2026. Now, obviously, the caveat I'm adding here is that this is bowl first, bat first. It can really go either way, but just look at the difference in options. In the top, you've got Jaiswal, Suryavanshi, obviously. No Sanju, so you can slot in a Riyan Parag, a Dhruv Jurel. Then you've got Shimron Hetmeyer. Ravindra Jadeja walks into the 11. Sam Curran walks into the 11. And then you've got Wanindu Hasaranga, Sandeep Sharma, Jofra Archer and potentially Akash Madhwal. Obviously, these are all subject to change. You could be seeing different options coming in as well, depending on what it is they feel could be their strength, weakness, and they still haven't gone into the auction. The auction's still a month away. So this playing 11 is purely based on what options they have right now. But just look at how much better it looks. Already, you've got potentially 7 batting options if you go up till Curran, who, and I may add that Curran last year impressed more with the bat than he did with the ball. And then you've got Wanindu at 8. And assuming this is a bowling first 11, because you've got 5 bowling options here as well. In fact, you've got 6 if you count Jadeja. If it's a bowling first 11, you sub in another batter, then you're batting till potentially number 7, 8. You're going up till 8 potentially, which is great. And if Wanindu is your 8, then that is much better. In fact, Wanindu will probably be your 9. So that makes it even better. Now, that is why I'm saying that RR potentially could have found themselves getting the much better end of this deal, because in one stroke, they've actually managed to address a weakness that has been plaguing them for at least 4 or 5 seasons now. They've had a sheer lack of all-rounders, and their insistence on relying on specialists has not worked out well for them. Yes, they made it to the final in the 2022 season, but after that, it's been a real problem for them. And one of the reasons for that is that as other teams are ensuring that they not only stack up their all-rounders and batting prowess in as well in an 11 thanks to the impact player rule, RR were left behind. Now, though, they've brought in 2 quality all-rounders without having to go to the auction. Shrewd, and truth be told, RR, the management often gets brickbats for making some pretty poor decisions. For this one, in my opinion, they deserve some credit. But what do you guys think? Let us know that in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon, follow us also on social media. We're on Instagram, X and Facebook, and stay tuned for more such videos from the world of sport.